Siobhan Muir. Welcome back. So this month, because it is the month in the US that celebrates this holiday called Thanksgiving, we are doing some festive sides that you can add to your holiday meal. So, you know, most people eat turkey, but you can add this to any meal, really. You could add it to a seafood meal, you can add it to a ham meal, whatever you want to do, whatever you want in the main course, you can add this as a side. This is called scalloped corn, and it, as you can see, it's on an old recipe card that was actually typed with a typewriter. That's how old this thing is. And it's from my grandmother, Helen May. And she put together this thing, and this used to be my favorite meal that we would, or favorite side we'd eat at Thanksgiving when I was a kid. And then I made it later, and I'm like, I don't like the taste of this. I didn't like the taste of it because she would use Crisco for the shortening. And Crisco is just kind of this oily, it kind of tastes like petroleum jelly. It's just not a good thing. So I've modified it a little bit so that it's still tasty, still something you want to eat, and it doesn't have any weird chemical aftertaste. So what are you going to need? You're going to need 2 tablespoons of shortening, but the shortening we're going to use is coconut oil. It has the same consistency as Crisco does, and it adds a little bit of flavor, but it's not, it just doesn't add a chemical aftertaste. 2 tablespoons of flour. We're going to use gluten-free flour because we want everybody to be able to eat it, and Muir doesn't like gluten.
That's not true. I love gluten. I just can't eat it.
A cup of milk, 2 cups of cooked or canned corn. Let's see, these are, this might actually only need 1 because this is 15.25.
Almost 2 cups. So
Yeah.
we might need a little bit of a second one.
So anyway, I have 2 cups. I don't know if I'm going to use 1.5 cans. It'll need to be drained though. You can feel the water in it. You're going to need to drain them, otherwise your mixture is going to become too soupy. 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs beaten, so they won't roll off the counter this time, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper, which we will probably do fresh, and then a pinch of mace. I didn't even know what mace smelled like, and it turns out we bought this a long time ago and never opened it because it was brand new and opened today, but it smells a little like nutmeg with a little tangier or fruitier taste. Or, yeah.
It's a little less potent.
Yeah, it's not quite nutmeg, but more. It's like a tart nutmeg. Strange, I know. And anyway, and then of course the directions are on the back in, like I said, actually typed. Someone actually stuck this in a typewriter and what did the gorilla say? I love that part.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this on the stove though, because what happens is you end up putting this all together in a pot on the stove and then you bake it. So it's kind of a 2-part process. So it says melt the shortening and add the flour. So first what we're going to do is 2 tablespoons of shortening, which is the coconut oil. So 2 tablespoons of shortening. Do this over the container. Otherwise it'll slide out. But do you see how thick it is? This is a lot like, Crisco is just like this, except for Crisco isn't made from natural ingredients.
Yeah.
All right, so you need 2, we're gonna need 2 of these. So
Yeah. And melt it over what, medium heat?
I would say medium heat, yeah. My grandmother was not specific. If you read her recipe, she just said, add this and put that in that. You know, no directions on how warm it should be or, you know, any of that.
Yeah. Melt, shortening, add flour.
Yep, that's
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Melt shortening, add flour. May the force be with you. We'll just let the shortening melt, and then we will add, I think it's 1.5.
tablespoons.
Yeah, so that's these 2.
Yeah, I know.
We'll add 1.5 tablespoons of Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free baking flour. Ta-da! Everybody loves it. And I'll tell you what, it makes all of my cooking has improved. All of my baking has improved with this flour because it doesn't taste awful, doesn't have a weird aftertaste, and it does almost exactly like gluten flour.
Yep.
We're almost there.
No, I know.
Okay, go ahead and add.
That's kind of fun.
Okay, so this is the flour is a thickening agent because the idea is to have, you want a little extra thickening to what you're going to put together. Okay. You want to kind of get it, no lumps and bumps if you can help it.
Add milk and gradually bring it to boil.
And I think it's a cup of milk.
Yes, it is.
Aha. So we'll turn it up a little bit from medium. We will probably put it up at,
I put it up at 7.
yeah, medium high.
And gradually bring it to a boil.
We are using goat milk, but if anyone cares.
That's because we're both lactose intolerant.
Goat milk is very, very creamy, but not as sweet. But it works pretty well.
Make sure to stir continually.
Yes. Then the recipe says stir continually. What you want to do is you want to bring it to a boil. The reason why you're stirring continually is because milk can burn really easily. So you want to kind of make sure that everything is combined. And it's kind of weird, the edge of it. Do you see? It's kind of a weird edge to it.
I'm going to start collecting the other things you need. To stir continually, so that's really going to come down to me.
This might be, I don't think it's a 2-person chore. The only thing is, what you might want to do is measure out all of your ingredients prior to starting this process, because then the stir constantly won't be a problem. You can just add stuff. And you won't have to go, crap, I have to measure these, and I have to drain the corn, and I have to da-da-da-da. Yeah.
Oh, thank heavens you have me.
Yes. Thank goodness I have you. Yeah, you can smell it. And also you can see it kind of thickening up and stuff like that, but you don't want it to. Yeah, do the sugar and salt together.
Just under 2 cups. Do you want me to open up the next one and just pour a little bit in here?
No, I think it's going to be enough.
Okay.
All right.
That taken care of.
So it will not burn. What does it say? Remove from heat.
And then add eggs and mix well.
Remove from heat.
Add eggs and mix well.
Add eggs. Hang on, I need this.
This is odd. Okay.
Stir it all together.
Working on it.
Yeah, make sure everything's combined. Keep going. Good job. Excellent. Good. That's exactly how it looks. I know it seems like a strange recipe. That's exactly how it's supposed to look. Okay, so move that right over there. We're going to set this right here. You want to set your oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 177 degrees Celsius. What you're going to end up doing, oh shoot, this needs to be greased. You want to pour this stuff into a greased, she's taking it from me, into a greased pan. I'd say you want a little bit of pepper, just a little bit. So I'm gonna put this in here. A little bit of pepper.
And mace too, yeah?
Yeah, and a pinch of mace. I'm literally going to give you a pinch of mace. That is the extent of it.
It's greased.
Good, perfect. All right, now I'm gonna hand that to you.
Do we want to keep it or can I rinse it off again?
I think you can rinse it off. And you pour this in here, and I'm going to use a spatula to make sure we get all the sauce with it. All right. And then you kind of want to even everything out because
I need a trim.
you just get it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. That'll be okay. So I probably could have put in a little bit more pepper, but you don't have to over flavor anything. You flavor it to taste and what you feel is right. They said in the recipe 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Do as much or as little as you like. We just did a little bit, so you will get little black dots. But so this goes into the oven for 25 minutes at 350 degrees, and then when you come out, it says you can brown it under the broiler setting if you'd like to. I haven't done that. I don't think you need to brown it at all. I think it'll look just fine when it's solidly cooked. The eggs are a binder, the flour is a thickener. Yeah, all you have to do is cook it, and this is a really nice side. So what we're gonna do is as soon as the oven is ready, we're gonna throw it in the oven and then cook it for 25 minutes, and then we'll see you in a bit. So this is what it should look like. It's still bubbling a little bit because of course it had to cook through all the liquid. But the nice thing about it is this is all the egg and the milk mixture together so that it binds. And so it becomes, I think it might even sink down a little bit as it cools. But it's quite a tasty side dish. And if you like sweet corn, this is like corn on the cob without all the work,
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I mean, and this, I don't think it said, because why would you tell anybody?
Yeah.
But it can serve.
Well, let's check.
I think it could serve up to about 10 people because you're only taking a little bit. It's part of the sides of all the things that you're eating at a big holiday meal.
Nope.
No, she wouldn't tell us that.
Nope.
Why would you tell us that?
It's a secret.
Yeah, you kind of want.
You could probably serve 10 people with this.
About. Like you could do thirds, like 9.
Yeah.
I think you get away with.
Or you could maybe make 16 squares out of that.
That'd be really little. But it's not thick and heavy like a brownie at all. It's pretty light and fluffy, but it is more solid than say just a sauce. It doesn't ooze. But this one was my favorite at Thanksgiving when I was a kid. And I always begged my grandmother to make it. And then I made it with Crisco one time and went, we're going to have to change that.
I like when that's you want to talk about excellent.
So, yes, so this is a holiday side. Actually, you can do it for any festive meal, but this one is the one we had at Thanksgiving most often. So, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. Definitely ring the bell to find out when you have new videos. Subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, and like the video, please. Let us know if you've tried it and if you've enjoyed it. So thank you for joining us. Happy making, happy baking, happy eating, and happy reading.